guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Maymay and I like to sew and make things. And today on this episode, you are going to watch me struggle. I chose to make one of the most iconic dresses of 2024. I'm doing the Ariana Grande look of the bubble dress as her playing the role of Glinda from the movie Wicked. I watched the movie. It was okay, it was alright, nothing wrong with it. I just wanted that dress. I think the most difficult part about this project is putting on all the beads that are on there because there's so many, and I know the ones that she was currently wearing are real beaded jewels. I cannot afford that. Now, I know this dress is very cohesive, but the way how they place the petals along the hoop skirt, I think I can do it. I did buy some fabric, by the way, so I did get some crystal organza to put as the underlayer for the petals that I will be making. Pink crystal organza, very light pink, because I think what I'm gonna do is maybe put 2 layers of this or 1 layer, depends on how the crinoline is gonna look under it since I did not get that yet. I got me some kind of like nude pink crystal organza. I will put the links down below for the colors that I got if you guys want to make the dress as well. But I've got 15 yards of this, 15 yards of this, and 15 yards of this total. That is 45 yards of fabric. So sit back, relax, watch me struggle, and let's dive into this project because I'm so excited. This is kind of a little bit torn up as well with this piece because I already made the pattern. I'll explain this in a minute. What I forgot to mention in the intro, I did say I made the pattern. I did not make this pattern. There was a couple videos that I watched of the actual creator explaining what pattern they used to create the petals and to give it that transparent swirly shape. I love using transparent a lot. I figured out that the name of this shape that you make out of shapes is called the Fibonacci spiral. I seen this one tagged Instagram account who caught my eye because it seems like they make patterns. The name of the account that I found, hopefully they wouldn't mind, Helois Gomez, or I think it's Helios Gomez. I don't know how to pronounce it. I seen that they were actually posting patterns. I ended up getting the Ariana Grande petal pattern and then her hoop skirt pattern. And I did reach out to him and he reached back. Amazing. Like, he was such a big help during this project. And I'm so glad I get to make it and show it to you guys. Decided to make one myself, but not this big, but this big. It took a lot of tries to make it because I keep on messing up with how big the squares and rectangles should be, which left me with this little guy. It has the tiny little swirl there. Well, now that I have the pattern, I gotta make it bigger. I think these are good for cutting around the fabric, but these are good. Wait, what? I think these are good for cutting around the pattern, but not the whole thing because I use these to cut the swirl, and these are a little bit too big to fit in that curve. Perfect. So I finished making my layers of the pink nuded organza and we came out with this. So what I did, I ended up adding the nude organza on the bottom of the light pink crystal one. And then I decided to fidget around with how I want it to function and look. And I got this. This is actually what I'm going for. So you can't see the bottom, but I will show you. So literally this is the look. This is what the bottom is looking like. And I do like that it still has a little bit of the like pleats underneath with the petals, and it's still some on the bottom, because in the dress they are big on the bottom and super small on the top. I'm really happy with how it looks, and with the crinoline in it, and then the horsetail braid that will be in between these two layers of organza. I will get that flowy volume like Versace, that sheesh look once I add the horsetail braid and then the crinoline. I only got 4 yards of that. I don't know why I didn't get more, but I just wanted to see what it would look like with the fabric. I should have got more so that way I can use it. But apparently that is supposed to be sewed on top of the crinoline. So I already have the nude ones. Okay, so it's kind of getting late. I ended up draping it over the mannequin. It looks a little too high. It looks like this for now until I add the hoop skirt, which this is the pattern on the ground. I just need to make that dart up here. I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. I just need it to hang overnight so that way it can be stronger for when I add the crinoline and the horsetail braid on it. But it's looking pretty good. So guys, I already ended up cutting out all of the patterns for the skirt and the hoop skirt, and while waiting for the crinoline and the horsetail braid to arrive, I got 1 stick of heat vinyl. I'm gonna have to get 15 more of these since I got 15 yards of that. What I'm going to do with this is cut it with these new things that I've got. So I've gotten a water erasable marker, a heavy duty detailed knife. That way I can cut out the circles, because I do not have a Cricut, and whenever I have the money I will get a Cricut. I think how I'm going to make the pattern is, I was going to start off with a plastic cup. Found a roll of leftover scotch tape that I found, and I was just going to use that instead. Oh, this stuff is strong. Because of how heavy this thing is, I decided to use tape to tape it down, and I have a handy dandy pencil so that way I can just erase the excess on it after I use this thing. Hi guys, so this is editing Meme here, and apparently I don't know why I just still decided to add this on footage, but I was making the bubbles, the holographic bubbles that were on Ariana Grande's dress, and I absolutely failed at it very, very bad. I don't know why I kept going with this, but I moved on to something else. Okay guys, so it's the next day, and this is what we got from the previous day. This is the whole entire skirt, but it's just not done, it's naked. So right now I have a total of 5 petals around the whole entire bodice. I just pinned them in place. Actually, I just wanted to hang overnight, but I think it ended up hanging a little bit too long, messing around with the petals. And I ended up adding the nude print organza on top and then the light pink on the bottom of the layers, because I thought it would bring a little bit more transparent look to the dress. Pretty much think that I went the right route with this. In total, there's 10 petals on this mannequin. All I need to do is add the waistband, decorate it, and will be settled. So I haven't finished the skirt yet, but I still want to do the bodice to like get an idea of what shape I want it to be, and I think I'm just going to look through some of my patterns that I have because I'm a little lazy and it's not going to be seen by anybody because it's going to be covered up in those little sheets of petals, and I think I'm just going to use the leftover organza for that. So I bought 4 yards. And I finished making the underlayer skirt, the hood skirt by the way. It just was a pain in my neck actually.
So the pattern that I used was this pattern off of Etsy. I do apologize for not showing that in advance. But I then started pinning my pieces together and sewing those together. And this is actually soft silk satin fabric. so it was kind of a pain in the butt to deal with, and you just have to sew it on a looser stitch.
We're not even close to done. Like, I still have to redecorate everything. But, that hurt really bad. We're gonna get through this.
Surprise, surprise. Okay guys, so I ended up getting the Cricut machine out of nowhere, and I'm going to show y'all how to use it. So what you want to do is download Cricut Design Space, and then you're going to go to a new project, and then I ended up copying and pasting these bubbles onto my Cricut board. What you want to do is hit the little continue button at the bottom right corner, and then it's going to take you to the page where it wants you to continue to connect your Joy Extra machine, which is the one I have, or any kind of Cricut machine that you have. And you can go ahead and duplicate as many as you want, and make sure it's on mirror. Like, if it's not on mirror, then your stuff is going to be coming out backwards. Then it's going to take you to base material, and I'm selecting the one that I have, which is Smart Iron-On Matless Heat Transfer. And it's just going to give you directions to load the tools and material, and make sure your blade is fine and has a point, and make sure it's inserted correctly into the machine. And you just open her up. It looks so pretty. Wow, it's not even dusty. It will be dusty later on. Basically, what this machine does is literally cut out the shape that you want, and it's just so cool and amazing that I literally had to stop the cat from getting into it, so I kind of had to grip her for a minute. Anywho, what you want to do on your screen once you have it all set up to your liking, you want to click the go button on your screen, and what it will start doing is printing out that exact design that you want, and you can go ahead and fiddle with it. And since it's heat transfer vinyl that I ended up getting, all you have to do is peel it off and iron it on for about 5 to 8 seconds, and you're all ready to go.
And doing so, I ended up with these little bubbles on there. But I didn't cover the full thing because I want to paint some of the bubbles on there.
So basically, I have my organza and I have my crinoline fabric, and I'm just gonna lay that on top of the organza and then sew that on. And I also put on the bubbles first before sewing it together. To be honest, one petal actually took me each 3 hours to do because it was a lot of pinning, and I was very skeptical on how I should sew it all together, but I was just doing my thing. I also realized that a lot of this footage is going to have me speaking over a lot of clips because I forgot to edit some of the clips, and a lot of them are in slow-mo and my voice is not being heard. So yeah. As you can see right now, I'm just laying my organza pieces and sandwiching them in between the horsehair braid and the crinoline fabric.
I really do not feel like ironing this, but I feel like I'm going to have to, because originally I was supposed to lay all the pieces on top and sew it, but my dumb self decided to lay all the pieces on top and not sew it, and now I'm thinking back to why that fabric was very wrinkly at the bottom. I want it to be perfect. My back is gonna hurt after this.
And my back did hurt after this because apparently sewing a lot of these petals means that you're not going to be able to work the next day. And a lot of it took a while, but it all got done. My back hurt so bad, guys, that I literally was doing breaks and standing and breathing, and it just came to a stressful point where I had to take out all of my emotions on the ground instead because my back was just hurting really bad, and it's not like that made it even better. I've made about 5 of these petals, and it actually took me more than a week, even though it was supposed to make a week, but you know, it is what it is.
back right now.
So I faced my head tingling in the back, and as you can see, our girl is halfway done, but she will be completed.
So, this is what we have done
so far.
I'm loving how it shows little cone shape at the bottom. That's kind of what I was going for. But I know I haven't gotten much footage of me making the hoop skirt, which is nearly finished. The thing is, I didn't have my camera yet to make the footage of me making it.
So I'm gonna stop you right there because for your information, I did have footage making the hoop skirt and it was a very enjoyable time and also a pain in the butt. It is a quick clip of me making it though because I didn't really have enough time, but this is the first thing I did in the project and I was just making the pattern out and tracing the darts and pretty much just following the instructions that you guys can also get in the description. And then here's a clip of me also getting the horsehair braid, and I actually ended up getting this from Temu for a very nice deal for 50 yards, so when you think you know the math, run that footage.
Outside of that, I did add some holographic bubbles from my Cricut, and it looks really good. It's just I'm using so much because some of the bubbles are white and some of them are holographic on the other side. That's what I want to avoid. I also need to get some metallic paint and paint little circles around the dress. Also bedazzle it. I'm not even far from done from this thing. I haven't even touched the corset yet. I don't want to figure out what to do with it. I think I'm gonna add another layer of this satin that I used for the corset on top. Reason why there's so many seams is because I want to add as much boning as I can. Really nice. I'm loving the shape. Okay, so I have this silver American Decor metallic paint. I got it from Michael's. The thing is, I should have picked a newer one because it's a little bit dampy. It did say to shake for a while. As you can see, my hand is a bit dampy, red, because I've been trying to open this monster. I think I got it now. Ugh, I can't do it. I'm going to use a pin, like see what's going on, what's the issue, what's in the way. Yeah, it's gooey. I got it open. I actually ended up sacrificing my seam ripper. Can you see that? It's like a silvery-ish type color. I have my paintbrush right here, lucky handy paintbrush. Water bottle cap, plastic cup, a perfume cap. I'm gonna use 3 of those shapes to make the bubbles on the dress. I need to take this thing down. Sorry about the sunlight, by the way. I really love the petals, how they look. The thing that I'm eyeballing right now is trying to centralize how the petals should be and just keep it in mind how I actually folded it because there's a certain way that I did.
So as putting on these bubbles, I don't know why I decided to paint the rims of each object that I used and then stamp them on there. And when I actually looked at it, it really did not look good. It looked very messy and it was just not eaten. So I decided to pour half of the metallic paint on a plate and just place the objects on top and then also stamp them on the fabric, which was a really great idea because it ended up working.
So apparently I just got done painting all those bubbles on the dress, waiting for that to dry. I just cut my holographic vinyl in half. Now I'm going to make the heat transfer bubbles, more of them because I feel like I don't have enough. I feel like I want some also on the back.
I also bought these stick-on rhinestones and I started cutting them in slices after ironing on my heat transfer vinyl, and I decided to put them on the rim of the petals so that way I can give it a more like shiny effect, even though she doesn't really have as much jewels like that, but I just wanted to be different. And I laid all my pieces to dry after I did that as well, and on to the next disappointment.
Oh, hello. The thing is beaded. Excuse the pants, by the way. So what I ended up doing for the mannequin, I think I'm actually going to start draping on the corset petals. Right now I'm waiting for my iron to heat up and it takes forever. Here are some sketches that I have. I think what I can tell that's going on is that, so this is the front lining, and what I want done to it is to have like huge pieces and then layer smaller ones that I've made so that way I can give it that shape. So same thing for the back, and this is my corset, but I needed to cut the inner, like, you know, the inner layer because she has a lot of cleavage showing. What I also have is my fabric. What I'm going to do is drape it on her and see how I want the pattern to be, because I feel like however it looks, it will look stunning. So these are all my pieces layered. I think what I'm going to do with this is put it on my fabric, and I'm actually going to start by folding the fabric in half so that way I can get those 3D ruffles that are popping out. I'm letting my pieces hang over there, but I'm just hoping that it will keep its shape if I have it hang like upside down in a way, because I still want the ruffle part to be very floomy and give it a bit more like oomph and volume. So I finally got my metal wire boning delivered. I'm just trying to figure out the right way to open it because I don't want it to like explode and lose an eyeball. I don't know if this is too heavy for this corset, but I want to make sure it holds this dress. So I feel like this would be fine. I believe you can cut it with this. Okay, so what I have in this bag is the leftover scraps of fabric. I already ended up spilling half of it. I'm not gonna dump that out yet. I'm going to use this horsetail braid for the bodice of the look, and then I'm going to use these scraps of the petals that I made that are left over from the skirt area, and I'm going to attach those to the corset. Outside of that, I did get some packages, and I forgot what I ordered, so I'm gonna open that up and see what I got, because I know I was missing a couple of things, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but I don't think I did, because I want everybody to think that I'm on track and that I'm not hating myself or anything, because I'm really a nice person. This is twill tape. This is twill tape. And what I did with this is a lot of yards. Wow, 55 yards. It's actually the perfect amount that I need. But this is what the boning is going to go inside. I am using the flat steel spiral boning. Okay, I have bought the snippers to cut it. This, I think, is the sequence that I got. You know, without getting the sequence done. It kind of ruins the look. The sequence, it's actually sewn together. That looks really, oh, I'm so sorry. I just elbowed you in the butt. Start with this fabric. We're gonna dump this all out. I can literally use the leftovers of... Found her. We're going to do some experimenting with this. It's like 7:30 in the morning. I did try another tactic where I sewed the two patterns together. This is number 1, this is number 2, and then 3 and 4. And instead of folding like the inseams together like that, I think because it's going to be covered with beads anyway, I'm going to sew this piece, which is number 2, on top of number 1. Right now I'm just going along the lines of the undergarment hoop skirt, and I'm adding the twill tape along the lines of the boning that I made, and then I'm gonna sew all around.
So here I am, and boy does she look lost, but I'm laying down my twill tape on top of the pattern so that way I can sew across and slide my boning channels through. This took a while, but I ended up getting it done and ending up making it neat and not being lazy about it. And the thing that I looked forward to was getting the other one set up so that way I can have more patience and have more fun with it, I guess. But it's not as fun than watching your sister road rage over Mario Kart.
Oh wait. God. Stone backwards. Okay. Fine, I use that now. Okay. Okay.
Well, that boning was really sad. But anywho, I started cutting the pieces and it did take a while, and would you look at that, it's getting murdered again. I started feeding all of this boning through the channels, and it did take me a good amount of 3 hours to finish, but I also ended up sewing them together and being blind at the same time. And so, as I mentioned earlier, my mic did not work during this time, and I'm just describing me adding an underlayer to the skirt, which I did not add. I just decided to make more petals, and I was so baffled about it, and I just wanted to get this project done as soon as possible. So here's a quick little montage of me getting this thing done.
Just here in the trash. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm watching from the back of my view right now. I feel like I had just no state of mind or strategic state of mind on what the benefits would be for making and finishing this dress. I don't like it. I don't even think I can feel anything from what I should have done right and what I should have done to prevent anything wrong from happening. Just when I looked at it, it wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. Absolutely am not happy with the corset. I don't think it turned out very good. I know a lot of people that are gonna be watching this video are gonna be like, why did you do that? A first time is a first time, guys. I just wanna let you know. I've been sewing for 8 years. Let me stop. I did make my own pattern for the corset, so I think that one just a little bit out of the way. Along with the petals for the skirt, they weren't really as big, which is why the dress didn't really look as big as it was supposed to be. And he posted on his story saying that the petals were a little too small, so he made another pattern. The reason as to why I didn't decide to recreate the shape by using his new pattern is because the fabric that I got, it was already sold out. But this project took 4 months. For this, I'm kind of happy with. It's my first time doing a very hard project like that, but my sister ended up getting some great footage. I do love the wand. Wand I'm not gonna bring out because it's in the garage and it's a prop that really shouldn't be messed with. What I ended up doing was actually getting these foam balls from Hobby Lobby and a box cutter, and I actually bought this acrylic like pipe that goes in the showers, like the little shower bar that you grip on. I actually ended up getting that. I stuck the foam ball on top and I dig these little holes with the box cutter and then put hot glue on these clear glitter straws that I got from Amazon. And then I got these little cute shiny beads and I glued them to the straws, and that's how I ended up getting the wand. Yeah, it was supposed to be done before my birthday. The look needed the blonde wig. That's literally kind of the signature Ariana Grande look for Glinda. Anywho, I did have my wand. The crown just couldn't make it down the red carpet, which is perfectly fine. You might see footage of it, but I don't think I had any pictures of me wearing it, which I should have took some pictures of me wearing it. I think I sent some to my boyfriend. I don't feel like going through messages to find it. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys were staying tuned throughout the whole entire video, I appreciate you guys
like so much for watching my dumb self
struggle throughout this whole entire process. I do hope I can make more content later on in the future because of my schedule. This isn't a full-time job. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to like. And if you guys feel like staying around, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh, the new layer of organza and then the pink layer of the organza. No. After that, it's... Look at her. Aaliyah! Oh, fuck. You got a string hanging out. Queen who? Queen who? Who? I'm running!